Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and welcome to DGA's Heroes of Hammerwatch guide. So, I plan on releasing a series of short Heroes of Hammerwatch guide videos to help new players get acclimated to this game, because there's a lot going on here. If you like what you see, feel free to follow or subscribe, whatever the case may be, and I'll include a playlist in the below description so you can browse the various topics that are available as they become available. So, go ahead and enjoy the show, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my Discord. Again, link in the below description. In this video, we're going to be talking about setting up for a run. What should I bring with me into my current run? Well, in order to answer that question, you need to ask yourself, what do I plan on doing? What is my goal? Am I going to be running a low NG to grind out maybe experience or gold? Am I trying to NG push to the next NG that I need? It all depends. So what you plan to do will affect what you take with you. So for example, the anvil here. You can craft one item to bring with you, and your mileage will vary depending on what you want. If you're going ore farming, for example, you may want to take something like here we go. We'll find it. Shaftlock pickaxe. That is an awesome item. It's plus 50% ore gain. There are some other items in the game that also increase ore gain. Markham stone. Plus 2% ore gain per item in your inventory. So the difference between Markham stone and that Shaftlock pickaxe. The Shaftlock pickaxe gives you more bonus now, but it's like a flat rate. It stays the same throughout, whereas the Markham Stone, 2% ore gain per item in your inventory. So the more your run, the longer your run and the more items you pick up, the more powerful Markham Stone becomes. So, you know, you may have to do the math a little bit, just for sake of ease. The way I look at it, if I'm going to be running every single floor, there's a better chance of me finding a lot of items that way. There's shops in there. If you have your shopkeeper enabled at the fountain, buying items that way, then Markham Stone over time will be much more effective, and you can get them up to 75, 100% ore gain. Whereas, again, the Shaftlock pickaxe is locked at 50%. The Shaftlock, if I'm just going to do portals and get through it as quickly as I can, possibly pass on items because I'm pressed for time, then I'll just take the Shaftlock pickaxe, which is at 50% flat ore gain. So again, it all depends on what you're aiming to do here. If you're trying to get ore, then take either Markham Stone or the Shaftlock pickaxe. Again, Shaftlock pickaxe for short runs, the Markham Stone for long runs, to where you'll have more opportunity to pick up more items, because that will scale appropriately. Old map. If your goal is blueprint farming, if your sole goal is just to go in there quickly and try and find all the little secrets, blueprint things, just you're trying to find it easily, you may want to bring old map with you. Whether it's the tower or the pyramid runs, having old map just to ensure that you don't miss anything. If that's your goal, then that's a good one to have. The rest are, you know, they're situational depending on what you like. Book of Enlightenment, if you're looking to gain a lot of experience in your run, if you're there to try and get as much experience as possible, then Book of Enlightenment is a great choice. A flat 20% experienced game is really good. That's assuming that you found all of the blueprints too. I found 130 out of 137. There's still a couple that I haven't found yet. So those are just a couple of suggestions. If ore gain is more your thing, Markham's Purse, 1% gold gain per item in your inventory, okay? So go through these, decide, before you go, just decide what you plan to do, and then take the appropriate item. Now, before doing that, you may want to come here to the shop and see what you can find first. And then whatever you can't find here via your rerolls, again, you can hit reroll down here. Let's say I'm trying to find Book of Enlightenment. Let's say I'm on an XP run. I'm like, I need to find Book of Enlightenment. Book of Enlightenment. Nope, don't see it. Don't see it. This is just taking too long. You know, I'm just going to craft it. And then maybe here I'll go, oh, look, Monster Pamphlet, Undead. increases damage done to undead by 10%. Undead gives 10% more experience. So let's say I re-roll here, and I see a lot of pamphlets and a lot of tomes or books or whatever that give me experience towards certain creature classes. I'll take those, and then I'll craft Book of Enlightenment at the anvil. That way, I've got a whole lot of experience bonuses coming in. So again, you'll want to take some items here, depending on what your immediate need is. The Fountain of Fortune, don't forget to enable stuff here. Preset 1 that I have set, for example, is more for NG carries. I use this particular this preset, when I'm running lower level NGs, just to help people out. I enable safe corridors, for example, just so people don't die via traps and the like. Expeditious makes everyone faster. It's Your Lucky Day increases luck. That's good. Plentiful gifts, that way that imp comes up more often and gives you gifts. The unexpected gift, that's really good. Glass walks, for those of you that have played this game, glass walks are helpful in certain situations where, let's say this bridge is broken. Well, glass walks makes it available again, so that's great. And I try to do a bunch of negatives that don't really mean a whole lot. For example, on NG pushes, or on NG carries, I typically never see a shopkeeper because I'm always running portals, so I have them turned off. And my goal here is to give them as much experience and gold gain as possible. I may go through this list again and be like, you know what? I don't mind maybe lethal traps, or maybe I don't mind this or that, in order to increase this favor negative value a little bit more. That way people get more experience and gold. But again, you're going to just go through here and figure out what you like and what you're comfortable with. If you're in the business of carrying other people yourself, my advice is try and enable things that make their lives a lot easier. They're going to try and get as much experience and gold and ore as possible, and they can only do that when they're alive. So, things like safe corridors is a way to keep them alive more often, you know what I mean? So, yeah, again, this is dependent on what you need. This is my NG carry. Preset 2 is more of an NG push kind of thing. This makes it a little bit more, less focus on gold gain and experience, but easier to progress, as it were. I kind of have less of the negatives selected. There's some other ones that I'm just playing around with. I'm not sure which I like. 350%, like this is all if I really want to push XP on my own, there's a lot of negatives here. But look, 350% gold and 350% XP gain bonus for taking all of those negatives. These are ones that I play around with on occasion. But you're going to want to come to this fountain. In addition to the anvil and the shopkeeper up there, pick what is good for your current run. Lastly, you're going to want to come here to the bar. And again, the drinks that you take will be dependent on what your current goal is for your current run. If you're in it for ore or experience, you may want to take things like, here's Miner's Delight. 100% ore gain. That's wonderful. Yes, minus 75% gold gain, but gold is kind of trash in this game because of the tax. If you hit C, you can see your current tax by hovering over your current resource there. I'm at 94% tax, okay? So that means if I go on a run and I have, what? Let's say I bring back 1 million gold or whatever, it's going to be taxed by 94%. Gold is trash. So the more gold you get, the more it's taxed. It's ridiculous. So I always shoot for ore gain as opposed to gold gain, and I don't worry about gold gain as much. So Miner's Delight is a great one if you're after a bunch of ore. On the run, again, minus gold gain, but increased movement speed. I find that the increased movement speed helps to offset lazy stroll, which is plus 50% experience gain. So again, if I'm on a run where my aim is to increase experience and ore gain, then I'll take lazy stroll, then on the run, and the Miner's Delight as 3 of my drinks, and then the other 2, whatever. But like these combos here pretty well. If you're in the mood to do some serious damage, and if you've got the Wilmer statue leveled up pretty high, Elemental Bruiser is a great one. Again, Wilmer will give you a bonus to your damage based on your skill cost, and this ups your skill cost, so this pairs well with the Wilmer statue. There are some other ones. Markham's Moonshine, 5% damage per item in your inventory. Spheres count twice. Combo is disabled. So if you're running Bolgarth, don't take Markham's Moonshine because your combo will be disabled. There are some drinks that will be good for Bolgarth, but long story short, take a look at your statues, see what you're currently running, then come here and see what you like. Maybe for specific builds, I'll, maybe in a future video, touch on those later, but primarily, before you go on a run, you're going to want to take some drinks, you're going to want to go to the fountain, you're going to go to the anvil, and you're going to go to the shopkeeper here to get stuff done. Also, you want to spend all of your gold to get your tax from whatever god-awful number it is to as close to a 0 as possible. The way I do that is I take that gold, and if you happen to own the Pyramid DLC, there is a gladiator here, and I've got this one leveled up pretty high, but for my primary character, it's, 61,000 gold, 84,000 gold just to level up 1 point for skill power or attack power, 0.5 for armor. So I'll just do that one and that one. Just level that up a couple of times, bring that as close. There we go. So I'm down to 7,000 gold. Now if I hit C, now my tax is 19.2%. How do I get that down even more? Well, I come up here, and there is a character here by this mine shaft entrance, and I can buy ore. And I bring my gold down to as close to a 0 as possible. Again, do that only after you've bought everything from the shopkeeper and possibly purchased your buffs if you need to from the Fountain of Fortune. You can throw money into the fountain here in case you happen to be in the positive. Like this positive run is 9,450. If your favor is green, you have to pay. So make sure you've got gold set aside for that as well. And then when you're absolutely sure you've spent all of your money on what you need, come up here, sell all of it off, and then embark on your run. So there you go, folks. A quick look at what you could do before you start your run. Hopefully this helps. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.